Now, I know you've heard of this phrase, which is just a lot of people are looking for the proper work life balance because I've worked in a financial coaching company and I'm meeting with all those different people who are like, I want my finances to be in a place where I can have that work life balance so I don't have to work continuously so hard and all that jazz and all that stuff. And then a lot of other people keep saying like, oh, you need a good work life balance. Da, 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 da. And in all honesty, this is just me particularly. I don't like the idea of that. Now, here's why. Because when you say work-life balance, I just don't like the word balance, right? Because with balance implies that it's something that you cannot keep up for a long period of time. I mean, just imagine yourself. You can't keep yourself balanced on one foot for so long, right? You're eventually going to fall. Even the most balanced people in the world, they're going to need their 2 feet at the end of the day. And it kind of gives us all the notion, and I know for me as well, and a lot of other people that I've met, like even around my age, where it's literally we're always thinking that every single aspect of our life kind of has to be balanced, right? They need to be at the certain percentage level of like, effort that we're giving to it, all the different areas of our life, which is just like family, friends, work life, personal fulfillment, parenting, spiritual life, friendship, romance, whatever the case is, really. And we all think that we need to have them like at the same level all the time. And in all honesty, that's just not possible. It really isn't, because you're going to get burnt out by trying to do everything at once, right? Because that's just not how because we are expecting perfection in that kind of balance that we're looking for, when in reality, like, that perfection doesn't actually exist. And here's the right way that I tend to think of it to better adjust my mindset with it, which is instead of thinking of balance, I think of harmony. Because think of it just like if you were to listen to a song, right? In this song, there's so many different areas when it comes to this. There's the tempo. I'm not a whole music major or whatever, but there's several different instruments that are working with it. There's the beat, there's the rhythm, there's all these different factors within it, and there's also different instruments that are being used, right? So think of it as like you looking for, or us, right, collectively, we're looking for that work-life balance. We're assuming that in, let's say, the song of our lives, right, that all the instruments are going to be played at the exact same frequency, at the exact same time, throughout the entire song of our lives. And to be honest, that's not really good music. Because good music has times where, let's say there's a guitar that's in the intro of a song, kind of goes away in the middle and allows something else to happen with more drums, more of the beat, or whatever the case is, or more maybe the singer. But then starts to come back around maybe towards the end of the song to kind of close it out. And in the same way with our own lives, we can't really expect to play every single instrument all at the same time. Instead, there's a harmony of just like, there's times where the guitar is going to be played in this song. But then there's going to be times where we need to let go of the guitar, right? We need to stop playing it and allow, let's say, the piano or the drums to kind of come through, or the singer to really take center stage at that point. But then there's another time where the singer had its time, and now let's go back to the guitar. Now, again, I'm not a music freak, but that's what I can understand. And it's the same thing with our lives. Because when you and I both have harmony, right? It's not to mean like harmonious, whatever, equilibrium or something. No, nothing's technically going to be equal in a harmony. But it's more like in a way that it makes sense for that season of your life. For instance, I plan on getting married, right? So there's going to be a point in my life where, before having kids and everything like that, I'm going to be focusing on primarily probably two things, right? Focusing on my marriage and building that very strong foundation, but also focusing on my career so that I can provide for my future family and my wife, right? So there's going to be two things that I want to be focusing on at that point. And now there's obviously other things that are very, very much important. Don't get me wrong, spiritual life is so, so important. That's a part of it. Friendships are very, very important. Family is very, very important. Personal fulfillment, everything else like that, very, very important. And at the same time, in that season, there's probably going to be one or two things that you're going to be focusing more on that may take a little bit more of your time. Because at that point, those are the things that are important for that season. And then, let's say when kids come around, you best believe your life is going to freaking change and priorities are definitely going to shift. Because if you're having a kid and you want to be a good father anyways, fully focusing on your career when you have the ability to, help out in the house to your actual kid, that might be a wrong shift of priorities. Because at that point, you got to actually do your best to make sure that you're becoming a good father. And by spending time with your kids, not having 100% in work, 100% in friends, 100% in spiritual life, whatever the case is, right? You got to make priorities for these things. And it's not a balance. Not at all. Because when you have a new kid, from the constant things that my parents say and everyone else who's a new parent, it's not a balanced life. You have to take care of this kid about 24/7. But it makes sense because this kid actually needs you. It depends on you so much. And this is also one of your prides of life. So you want to literally take care of this beautiful child that you've been given. And so your whole thing is going to change. Work is going to change because a lot of times you're probably thinking about your kid. You're going to focus on work, but then you got to go home and take care of the kid. You want to go to the gym, but a lot of times the kid kind of takes care of that space. And you got to figure out what kind of system you're going to make and make up that new harmony. It doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. It's because it's not. You're doing the thing that you're supposed to do as a father, for guys, right? Which is take care of the kid. Take care of your kid. And also trying to be the best father you can be at that stage. And that doesn't necessarily mean if you didn't go to the gym in time or whatever the case is, like you have different priorities in that season because certain things are a little bit more important. And obviously there's time and places for everything. And that's why I say it as a harmony. Because in every stage of our lives, as going into adults, as going into turning into adults, and then like later on after that, life changes out a lot. And a lot of people can either just go, I'm going 100% of work, and then I'll focus on my family. And then I'll do that. But in all honesty, if you really wanted the life that you said that you wanted, which for most people, I'll just say the one for me, right? The life that I know I want to live is being able to own my own business one day, whatever that looks like. And I'll probably talk about it later, in the coming years, whatever. But also be an excellent father for my kids, be free from my own struggles, be the example that they can actually look at to see what a man actually looks like. And also give extravagantly. Because I want to bless so many other people's lives, even though they have no chance of repaying me back. That's one of my main things. And in order to get there, sure, someone in this case might be like, well, that you got to focus super heavy on your career right now. And I was like, yes, that's valid. Because right now I'm technically single because I have a fiance. I'm not married just yet. And I don't have any kids. So probably right now, the two main things I should be focusing on is career and also my relationship, because that's the main thing I'm kind of building up right now. But when it comes time for when the kids come around, right? A lot of times we have a hard time of just like, or many people don't don't change the harmony, because then they're so focused on still their work because that's what they've been focusing on, I don't know, for the past 10 years or so, right? And then at that point, nothing really happens. Nothing changes. And then they say they want to be this good father, but then the fatherness kind of only turns out to be like, I need to provide for these kids rather than be their father. And that's not what a father is. A father is there raising these kids, instilling values in them, taking care of them, being with them, not just the provision. And a lot of times we can kind of get that difficulty in shifting it, and we think that life is just one thing for this specific period of time and nothing shall ever change it until this certain thing happens. But life be lifing, bro. Life is life to me too many times. Jeez. And things change, and you got to adjust to things that are actually important, because things can get short-circuited, sure, but at the end of the day, me and my Christian point of view, the main thing is, like, even though anything may come my way, and sure, I have these plans and I know this vision that I know God is pointing me in this direction, but anything that may come in my way, whether it's unplanned kid, which is a reality, not now, it's a reality that other people face, but unplanned kid, losing a job, something happening, relationship gets messed up, whatever the case is, right? Things happen. And the thing is, like, when we kind of think of this work-life balance that we're always trying to attain, I think we should have a different expectation. And that's the main point of this video. A different expectation on ourselves, a different expectation on other people, and on our lives. Not expecting that everything be simple, not complex, and very straight to the point like that. And just like, I'm focusing on this right now. Like, there's a mixture, bro. There's a whole mixture, and it's annoying, it's complicated, and it sucks, but that's how life is. And me as a young dude trying to become the best version of a guy, a man that he's trying to be, right? I need to learn how to adjust these with this, because if I don't adjust, then I won't become the man that I need to be, because that man who I need to be for my future family needs to be adjustable, needs to see whatever's going on, whatever unexpected thing happens, and then adjust his life to make sure that he can adapt and then make the most out of whatever circumstance that really is. Whether it's in business, whether it's in family, whether it's in relationships, whatever the case is, really. And that's something we all need to learn. So, just to recap, I guess, instead of focusing on just always having or always looking for that work-life balance that we always say that we want, or media, I don't know, whatever. I would challenge you just to think of it in a way of finding harmony. Finding harmony in your life, where things are definitely not equal, and there's definitely no balance, but that's okay, because this season is different from where you just came out of, because there are different priorities, and there are different things that you want to focus on, that you need to focus on right now. And then there will come a time where the things you're probably focusing on right now aren't the things that you're going to need to be focusing on later. And that is okay. It's not a loss of direction. It's not a discouragement, because I've honestly felt that before. But it's honestly a natural thing. And it's honestly, it's a thing that we kind of need to get over, because we kind of have this presupposition that we always need things to be balanced, but in reality, we need to adapt. We need to be able to adapt and adopt new ways of thinking, new ways of doing our life, and be okay with it, because that's how life is. And a lot of times we get just trapped in our own expectations with ourselves, and that's how we live an unhealthy and unhappy life. And that's something I'm slowly getting out of, in all honesty. And I say this from not a position of teaching or anything else like that. This is something I've observed and I've kind of adopted in my life. And there's still times where I'm still frustrated with myself, right? But I need to keep going. I need to. And I need to keep adjusting. And this is just to hold myself accountable, really, by sharing this with the 10 people who are going to watch this video. But I love you guys. And I'll see you next week.